the entire time. Like, she is not afraid to make it seem like they're playing a top tier, because they are. They're playing Aegis and Tilker. But I mean, I feel like a lot of players that do play top tiers, they kind of play in a way that makes them feel like they're playing a mid tier.
Yeah, no, for sure. And one thing I want to say about Kamex, looking at the other player on the screen, is I believe he top 8'd the last Garden Brawl as like the 30th seed or something. He is a player that on his day can definitely go on a run. He plays a multitude of different Smash games as well. So like if he's, you know, in his groove in Ultimate, that he is definitely a threat to the field. But I think it's going to turn out to be a great set. Like, even though you're looking on your screen 6 versus 27, I think it's going to be a lot closer than what the seeds might allude to.
I don't look at seeds for a lot of the time, because like I think the seeds are a lot less important than the head-to-head, because I feel as though when you look at the players and you might look at the seeding, one player might be down on the seeding, but they might play a matchup that's heavily in their favor, either as a player or a character, and I feel like that's more important in the long run.
Yeah, no, for sure. And we're just getting our characters selected in here. It's going to be Mercury versus Kamex. And did I hear Roy getting locked in? So you were talking about the Joker. Is this a character that Mercury decides to use a lot?
Now, I have not seen Mercury use this character, but I've also not seen him play in quite a while, and I have seen him play other characters aside from those two. I have seen Spontaneous, for example, and he is one of those players that it would be very proficient at these characters that play the fundamental rules of the game without much pushback. Like, he's 2019 meta characters. Now, I mean, we're seeing it right now.
Yeah, and she definitely is showing that this is a character that she has practiced a bunch. Even though, you know, Joker's the main, like Roy is definitely the choice in this matchup specifically, and we're already seeing her, you know, just act like it's her main, you know?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it now, but like, yeah, Roy has been like a very popular character, like for a specific reason, like Sonic's prevalence has kind of made Roy have an upswing again.
Yeah, I mean,
Roy is one of the few characters that can deal with Sonic at a very, very proficient level, but we see basically a frame trap, and Mercury lost the first stock.
Yeah, and Kamex just, despite being down in that entirety of that first stock, just found a back air in the right spot and was able to reversal that situation. Mercury answers right back, but that's like kind of those heads-up plays that you get from playing multiple Smash games as Kamex.
Yeah, I think like as far as Sonic damage goes, I underrated it for the longest time because it didn't feel right that the character like that should do so much damage, but then you actually play it and it's like, oh, wait a minute, I got upper once and I got dealt 50 or sometimes more. It is so messed up to me that Sonic is able to do that. I mean, it's great for the players, and I'm sure Kamex is happy as Peach just trying to abuse it, but man, as a player on the other side, it is so frustrating.
Yeah, and you know Sonic mains are loving it. They're like, yes, my character's broken, and I will take it every day of the week. And one situation that Mercury is trying to, you know, set up multiple times we've seen is a ledge trap situation, but hasn't quite gotten it yet. So I want to say that when she starts to get those ledge traps going better, she's going to do a lot better. But if you're allowing Sonic to get back to stage and get more neutral interactions, you're always going to be in a bad spot.
Yeah, that's a task build success build on that edge guard too. The forward air fumbled because of the game, but then just still got the win. There's a chance that forward air was intentional, to be honest, because like it totally screwed Mercury up.
Yeah. And Mercury trying to, again, get a ledge trap situation going, ends up getting a forward air and ends up following it up with a Dancing Blade. We have a dead even game going into the last stock here. Like I said, the closer sets are starting to heat up here.
Oh, this is advantage state at its premium. Mercury just slammed down 50%, and there's no escape.
But Kamex answering back, trying to get an edge guard situation here. That could have been it for Mercury, but barely makes it back.
Yeah, I think that forward air was intentional. You saw that last stock, they did it the same way. But I mean, I think it is intentional for that forward air to pick people up because you're so often expecting the forward air to hit full. And that's pretty reliable at doing it, but when you don't see it, it's just, oh, wait a minute, I got to do something on the fly or else I'm done.
That was so scary, just shielding in front of a spin dashing Sonic who was not moving. And that could have been a shield break situation, but Mercury just jumps out of it, and now we're back into neutral. Who is going to get the neutral opening? It is Mercury. Can she find the stock? No.
I mean, it's even right now. You can say the percents all you want, but these characters only really need one opening apiece.
And Kamex just charging up a spin dash in the center of the stage, gets a back air, but going to trade it. Who is going to find the stock? Oh, trying to find a back air, not going to be able to connect. And now a Dancing Blade, is that it? No.
No, Mercury is speeding for sure, and Kamex is trying to, like, I feel like drag this game out so that Mercury messes up, but I don't feel like that situation is happening.
And the forward air is going to be enough to take it and barely barely wins that game #1. And as the out-of-state competitor, Mercury, you know, it's always a good feeling, you know, when you're playing a player maybe you've never played before, to just get a good win, you know, like kind of like clutching out a game 1. You know, if it's close, you always want to clutch it out, because I feel like if you give the opponent, you know, some momentum, especially in their home state, you know, it could definitely be a dangerous task. But
I think it's a home state advantage for sure, but we also got plenty of a Philly crowd here, and I'm sure they're here being very loud for their girl.
Yeah, and you could kind of see it on the player cams. You know, there's a bunch of people standing around this set watching it. This is definitely the set to watch at the tournament right now. Up air, back air to open the game for Kamex. Just huge punish game advantage here from him.
Yeah, big damage, and it's leading to an S-Smash. Edgeguard potentially does not get it, but that was very, very scary.
Yeah, and, you know, as Sonic in this matchup, you know, Spargo was the, you know, the first player that I saw, you know, choose this as a counterpick choice. But the one advantage that Sonic does have in this matchup is those edge guards, you know, so you got to be closing those out whenever you can. This would be a great one for Kamex to be able to close out. Is that enough?
Nah, he needs more. Yeah, the drift out of that after the W is great. And I would say it's arguably Roy's fast power stats that makes it more of a troublesome deal, because Sonic gets so much damage off those interactions that possibly are only available for fast power characters, and Roy's going to eat a lot more damage that way. I feel like the edge guard potential is strong, but it might be a bit overemphasized because of how big that up B is and how good Roy's drift is.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, Sonic is definitely going to get great punish game on most characters in the cast, but is going to also die to a dancing blade no matter what character's on the screen.
Remember how game 1 started? It was looking so good for Mercury, and then Kamex got it opposite way, and we'll see how the tables turn.
Yeah, and that falling up air from Mercury, just getting comfortable in this set as time goes on, but Kamex is going to get a good, reliable back throw.
Yeah, he was so close to him. It just kind of like asking to get back thrown.
Yeah, another neutral opening for Mercury and getting a potential edgeguard situation here, but Kamex battles out and gets a punish of his own, but doesn't get the combo off of the up air.
Yeah, you saw that DI to the right there. You can do that slightly, and it definitely messed Kamex up. If you just go straight, that would have been so much damage on Kamex's side, but just could not get the conversion, and he is so behind on Mercury right now.
Yeah, for sure, and the up airs are going to come through, but again, misses the combo. Kamex uncharacteristically not going to be getting the best punish in these situations, and we saw it in game #1. He has those. He's just flubbing a little bit.
Hold up, brought it back.
And the mix-up there was that Mercury thought that Kamex was going to go all the way down to get that back air, so she went for a high recovery, and then Kamex mixed it up, but evens it out anyways, and now we're going to a last stock 0-0 situation, very similar to game #1.
Right, it's kind of crazy to bank on that too, because Mercury had never even attempted to do that prior, so I think like, okay, if I do this, they're going to do this. It's such a gamble, but it worked out beautifully.
Yeah, that's just like the intuition that you get when you play this game for a really long time. I feel like an edgeguard situation, the downer trying to just go for it all, doesn't connect, and now Mercury gets back on stage, and now we got neutral openings to get to again.
Yeah, and I feel like at this percent, both sides have gotten a lot of damage off, so if Mercury gets an opening, expect to see plenty of damage on the board.
Yep, trying to get an up air going. Just the weak hit up air is just keeping Kamex in an awkward position. Now Kamex is off stage. Mercury, oh, that jab back air could have been the end of the game for Kamex.
I think everyone knew Mercury was going to jab there. The question was it going to stick? And the answer was, sadly for Mercury, no. But Kamex does get it. Round 2. That's going to do it.
Yeah, and we saw that early on in that game #2, that Kamex was going to try and cover for the high recovery. Did it again in that game at the end of the game and just closed it out. And now we have a game 3 situation between both of these players who have been like just taking turns beating each other up in this game. Like there is nobody who's had a clear advantage.
I mean, yeah, because like every time it looks like it, this script just flips.
Yeah. And when you're playing a close set like this and you're going into a final game situation, you always want to get onto an early lead because you don't want to have it go to a nervous last stock situation, right? Because I feel like those situations, it just comes down to, you know, whoever just chooses an option in the moment, and it can almost be like random who clutches it out sometimes.
Yeah, I think you also want to leave stuff on the table. You don't want to reveal everything for these first 2 games. If it is to go to game 3, you don't want to bring everything out of the basket, because if you do that, the opponent knows what's going to happen, and perhaps if that will be the thing that costs you the set. So you got to leave something on the table there to review it for later. Get that birthday present that's actually a Wile E. Coyote invention that'll get them smoked.
Yeah, if there's a Wile E. Coyote invention coming through in this game number 3, I would definitely be shocked, but wouldn't be shocked from either of these two players pulling out something impressive in this game.
Yeah, and I've also seen Kamex go high in his recovery a lot, and he's going to get back at it, but not going to get died. And I mean, right there, the high recovery is kind of like trying to poke the head out a little bit, getting some cheap damage here, trying to avoid the ledge trap scenario that might cost him later on.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter how many times you win neutral against Sonic. If Sonic gets one huge opening into a stock, it doesn't matter, but Kamex wasn't able to get it there. Now Mercury has a chance to get the stock. Dash Jack not going to be able to connect right here. But the F tilt, no, still
just
not
what
enough.
I said, trying to poke the head out, and that's going to lead into a huge problem for Kamex, but does get out.
Yeah, and I like the way that Kamex is going for that spin dash off of the ledge. Almost every time that Mercury sets up at that weird spacing where she's not right on the ledge, she's a little bit off it, she's not ready for that spin dash. So that's something to keep an eye out for if Mercury adapts to that and starts punishing it.
Yeah, I was about to say, I talked to that conversion to the weak up air to strong up air, and that's something that I feel like only a proficient player in Roy would do. Because like, this is not a character that's new to Mercury. She's been doing this for a while.
Oh, and the mix-ups on mix-ups there. Kamex not going for an instant up air, and Mercury called it out, just drifting back over. This is just such good gameplay from both of these players.
Yeah, I talked about the drift for Roy earlier, and it's so applicable to so many of these situations. And I feel like it's so deceptive, too, because on most ends, he's kind of average in terms of mobility. I mean, shoot, I say average, but I mean, he's running breakneck, so I guess like him having these breakneck air mobility stuff wouldn't be up for a surprise, but I feel like of a character of his archetype is unexpected.
Yeah, we're seeing a nice back air there from Kamex. You got to use one of those every tournament. And
dead.
Oh no, you're good. You're still alive here, but doesn't have a lot of resources to get back. And we're seeing Kamex struggling to get going on this second stock. It's been all Mercury for the last like 30 seconds. What do you got for us, Kamex? That's so sad to see. Had the read, just didn't have the punish.
Remember what I said about those high recoveries? I think that match was an attempt to call it out, but just could not get it to work. But the side B gets it to work, and Mercury, huge lead in comparison to his set. We have never really seen this high of a lead so far in the set.
We have not seen. Yeah, this is the best lead in the set. It's a great point out. And now Mercury has to do the second part of having a high lead, is converting that high lead into a game win.
Oh my God! Just slightly mistimed it, and that's got to be so rough in the mental state, because if someone does something that you want them to do, you call them out, but the timing is wrong, it messes with you so badly. And I feel like as a player, you might want to almost abuse that. Like, yeah, I know you wanted this, but I messed you up on the timing, so now I know you're going to be timid on that next time.
Yeah, and Kamex is a very experienced competitor, so he is going to be like, okay, that's fine, I had it, I just messed it up a little bit, time to lock in, but Mercury is not giving him a lot of time to lock in. She is trying to find this stock as quick as possible, down tilt to lead to a tech chase, into the F tilt.
Mercury's got it, and I saw that too with the spot thoughts on the grab. That was not the first time that happened, and Mercury just abused it to high heaven and got the win off the back of that great tech chase.
Yeah, that's almost one of those sets that if it was a best of 5, it would have probably went the distance. But because we were in the best of 3 territory, Mercury gets to live another day, go on into the next part of the bracket, and get to show her stuff in, at Garden Brawl 2025.
Yeah, whereas Kamex has to die another day and lose his bracket because, well, he's got to go through it. But if I were a competitor, I'm looking at that and I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah, no, definitely for sure. And Kamex probably has been on a loser's bracket or two, and Mercury was, you guys can see it, but Mercury was trying to show her pillow pet to the camera, but we were looking at replays. So maybe we could get a replay of that. I don't know if we have the technology for that.
Hang on, what pillow pet was it? This is important information because I had the dolphin.
I don't know. It's like a reptile looking thing.
It's
a dinosaur. It's the Stegosaurus, I want to say. Yeah. That's a Stegosaurus.
I think it's a Triceratops.
Maybe. I don't know dinosaurs like that.
Yeah,
if I was in the 2nd grade, I knew all my dinosaurs.
Yeah, she had like no fin in the back. Yeah. I think that's supposed to be the playground for Triceratops. What an excellent dinosaur choice for Mercury to represent.
Yeah, for sure. And we're just going to see how Kamex was able to get this game number 2 win very shortly. As we're looking through the replays, as we're waiting for our next competitors to step up to the plate. We are here at Garden Brawl 2025. If you're just tuning in, wondering what's going on, we've got New Jersey Smash Ultimate on display for you guys right here. We just got through with Kamex and Mercury, which are the replays you're watching right now.
And up next, we got two huge players on board. Zamba is up, and he's fighting Key. Now, Key is a DDD player that has recently moved in, not so recently, but recently in my heart, to the Philly region, and has started to bring some nice stuff there on PR. But Zamba is just another level. I think you already know him. GX winner, everything winner. He's done so much as far as this game has gone, and from such humble beginnings, too.
And Zamba is playing like a top 10 player, like so far in the early parts of this year. You know, I don't know the rankings, so I don't know like if he will actually end up top 10, but like his worst placement so far this year is like 17th at Kagaribi.